Okay, truth seekers. Today I am going to talk to you about interpreting data and facts. And I believe this is so important because I've just recently been in situations and in conversations where a lack of understanding of interpretation of data and facts has caused the conversation to go left field. And I want to be able to help people to get out of those situations, to help them to generate better conversations, to understand one another better. So listen up. I'm going to try to make it simple and easy. So the statement that I'm going to make first is this. We obtain data and facts. That's just a true thing. We obtain data and facts. The part that goes unnoticed after we do that, though, is when we're talking to people, we interpreted those data and facts, and then we make assertions and claims based on our interpretations of the data and facts. And what we do without noticing is that we assume that our interpretation of that data and facts is the true one. And let that sink in for a second. Your interpretation of the data and facts may not necessarily be true. It could be, it might be, but not necessarily. And that causes problems in conversations when people don't realize that. I'm going to give you an example. So, with the Alabama Crimson Tide defense last year, we was ranked up to best defense in college football. But our pass defense was ranked number 6, either in the SEC or the nation. I can't remember which one exactly. So that's the fact. The fact was, the data is that the Alabama pass defense was ranked number 6. That's it. Alabama defense was ranked number 6. Here's the most common interpretation of that. The Alabama pass defense wasn't as good as the run defense. The secondary was weaker than the front seven. That's an interpretation, but is that true? And so you say, well, I mean, doesn't that fit the data? It could fit the data, but let me give you another interpretation that very well fits the data as well. The Alabama pass defense was ranked number 6 because the Alabama run defense in the front seven was so good that teams were shut down in their running opportunities, their rushing opportunities, and they decided to pass the ball more often. More pass opportunities against the secondary leads to more yards being piled up or more yards being accumulated, meaning that the statistics for the pass defense would decline as inverse to the run defense. That interpretation fits the facts and the data as well. And I believe that is the correct one. I believe the first assertion that the pass defense wasn't as good is the false one. Only one of those can be correct, because if there's no such thing as multiple truths, there's only one truth. And I believe that that second assertion, those second claims, is the true one. And that's an example of how interpretation of data leads to different conversation dynamics. People miss that their interpretation of the data may not necessarily be the correct one, and because of that, we get into conversation that cause people to fight and throw a fist in it, and they don't know what they're doing. We have to recognize those things with one another so that we can have better conversations, more effective conversations, so that we can see what the truth is, and we don't assume that what we have to say is always the correct one. And this goes when we're talking about stuff like Black Lives Matter, politics, Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, opinions on global warming, whatever it may be. Just remember, you have the data and the facts, but you also have an interpretation of it. And you have to figure out if your interpretation of the data and facts is the true one. I made a video not too long ago, well, maybe 2 months ago, called I'm not biased, I'm objective. And I was debunking why that is a false notion, and this is the reason why. And I talked a little bit about it there too, that just because you have the data and the facts doesn't mean that your interpretation of it is correct. That's all I have to say today, guys. Let me know what you think. Please comment. Let me know if this helped you. I really want this to make impact in your conversations and in your daily life. Let me know what happens, guys.